Gotta reset all this. I had it all ready to go, and then Facebook streaming decided to poop the bed. So you only got us on YouTube and I think LinkedIn and Twitch today because because Facebook was being themselves. And Luna made my breakfast late. She thinks this is a game, not a job. Anyway, got a lot for you today. Starting with, let's save you some money. Let's go ahead and talk about. See, all of this was set up, and then Facebook decided to kick me in the butt. All right, so Tesla's got free off-peak supercharging for the holidays. Obviously, with it being Boxing Day, some of you guys might already be heading home. Let's take a look at where these places are, and if you live near them, then that's great. If you don't, hopefully they're on your way. This article doesn't have a map. The one I looked at originally did. All right, so let's see what we're looking at. That's super helpful. Let's do this. Let's do a search on it. May 21, December. Here we go. Here's a map. Of course, electric. All right, so most of California, it looks like. A little bit of Texas and Oklahoma, Florida. Are all those in Pennsylvania? Let's see if they have a table. All right, Arizona, California, loads of California. Colorado, you got Trinidad. Florida, Gainesville, Lake City, and Ocala. You got Nevada, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Texas, and Utah. All right. So if you're near any of those places and happen to have space for a charge, and I think it's like after 7, you'll have to look at the supercharger screen to see where each of them considers to be off-peak. Most of them are 7 p.m. or so, and we're obviously past that time for the morning, but hey, it is what it is. Make sure everybody who is connected, can you all hear me? Just pop a little note in the chat, please. The app says it's doing its job, but it said that last week too. All right, so let's see. Hey, there's Anders. Good evening. How are you doing today? Happy Boxing Day. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so let's see what is up next. Let's take a look at Terra, Texas. It's Gigafactory, Texas. GLFR in Austin has updated us with some fresh pictures of the establishment. Over there on exit 446, you get Tesla Road. Whoo, it's closed up. So some folks were wondering why Terra, Texas doesn't have any exterior load bays while every other Gigafactory does. It's because the trucking and shipping lanes run straight through the middle of the Gigafactory while the loading bays are off of that main drag inside the factory. There we go. I had a nice little presentation that I was planning, but I didn't wake up in time for that. We'll do it next week. Let's see. And in regards to a subject we touched on last week, Elon has tweeted, he says, "For those wondering, I will pay over $11 billion in taxes this year." And we'll leave it at that. Unless you guys in the audience have a discussion on it. All right, so Are these the same article? They are. Okay, so Drive Tesla Canada has got an article for us regarding a little bit of fine print that we saw on the Tesla ordering page for the Model 3. So, Tesla begins selling 2021 Model 3s through existing inventory with battery packs of 2017. Striking headline, but let's dig into it a little bit more and figure out what's really going on here. So, let's see. You've got an order, and you can put in, these look like base models. And it says range figures may be up to 12% lower due to battery age. Learn more. And then when you click learn more, you get a range disclaimer. This vehicle was built with a battery pack manufactured as early as 2017. While this pack was brand new when the vehicle was built, cells have reduced capacity due to their age. And you can expect up to 12% reduction in range from current production specifications. So the way that we're interpreting this is two ways. And these are only on vehicles that are listed as in-stock, demo, or test drive units. And not just plain old in-stock. But still look for that disclaimer when you're trying to buy one. All of the batteries were going to new cars at the time, but you still have to have something for people to test drive or look at in the showroom. And speculation is that they had some old new stock that either they had repaired because it wasn't up to snuff when it went through the first time and they reworked it, or they just had some old, like maybe warranty return batteries that were, these are new, but they would be swapped out if your vehicle's battery got returned under warranty. And since that never happened and they needed some batteries, they popped them in the cars that belonged to Tesla. And then because they are a car sales establishment, among other things, at the end of the year, they have to clean house. And these vehicles are still listed as new because they had never been titled. And the batteries were new because they had never been put into a vehicle, but lithium batteries degrade as they age. And so Tesla's letting you know that it could be as much as 12% lower than specified. Also, being Tesla with their record keeping, I would expect that you probably have some. Oh, awesome! Thank you, Zachary. I would suspect that you also have some batteries that are actually brand new, even though they were listed as like brand new, like right off the line. Hey, this one we need it now, and we would expect nothing less from Tesla to be doing stuff like that as well. Let's see. Just pop in and say hi. I'm working. I'll watch it later. Well, happy Boxing Day to you. Don't work too hard, and we'll catch you soon. And so let's see what Drive Tesla Canada's take on this was. Most of these vehicles listed as demo vehicles, which we talked about, and they usually only have a few hundred miles on them, which is true. The ones in the showroom might have no miles on them. They might have the same 3 to 5 miles you get with a brand new car if they were locked inside. Some of these showrooms, it's a real pain in the rear to get them out of the doors, to get them on test drives, get them washed. And so once they wash them the first time and bring them in, they wipe them down with the no rinse for the rest of the time. However, other showrooms, it's very easy to get in and out of, and so if all of the test drive cars are out, you might see the showroom car go out for a test drive as well. And let's see. However, Tesla added a new and significant disclaimer to these cars tonight that could be easily missed if the buyer isn't paying attention. This just further goes to show you, if you're going to spend upwards of $30,000, pay attention to the fine print, please. At least print it and save it so that you know what you got into after the fact. That way, when you've got your righteous indignation, you can have some documentation to give to your lawyer who can tell you, "Whoops, no case here." So, what do y'all think about that? Would you take a that's the other thing I didn't even mention, is that Tesla discounts cars based on their age and their miles. So these cars, not only were they showroom cars that were aging out in the showroom, the test drive cars were getting miles on them. So what do you guys think in the chat? Would you take a significant discount for a brand new old battery with your brand new car, where your battery was built 3 years before your car, or would that not be something you would consider? I'd like to know. And while I await your responses, let's go on to the next article. Oh wait, here we go. Andrew's got one. Come on, computer, update. Update, computer. There it is. Andrew says he doesn't want an old battery. And I agree with you right now, because unless we're talking about the lithium iron phosphates, which seem to be a little bit more stable as far as their degradation pattern, 12% is something you would notice. And my car had about 5 miles short of the advertised range when I got it. It has not improved from there, although it has leveled off in the last year. It was going down regularly for the first 2 years, and it's going to continue to go down. But now the drop is it's much less than a mile a month. Before it was incredible. So I think I'm in the same boat. Unless the discount was significant, I personally probably would not do it unless the range at the discounted rate was more than what I needed from that vehicle. So say I'm getting a car for a child or a second car. Like Luna and I, we travel together. So the main car is the one that needs the big battery, and if she gets a license, gets a car, then maybe we could deal with one that's got 10 less miles than advertised, but not for a road trip car. Again, though, if the savings are worth it, hey, free supercharging for life, or hey, it's $5,000 off. They're not taking $5,000 off for most of these cars, but that might be enough to make us look again. All right, so let's take a look at the next article. I grab a sip of this concoction she made me. It is delicious. It's like a Thai take on iced teas, iced cocoa. I guess iced coffee even. Slurpers. Ice. All right, so Sawyer Merritt has got news that the NIO has introduced integrated die casting technology in the ET5, which we looked at last week, and we noticed it had the unicorn horn. It even has a structural element to hold the unicorn horn. Compared to the all-steel welded process, the technology allows for guaranteed strength increase from 31 kilonewton meters a degree? Decigram? I don't know. From 31 kilonewton meters to 34 kilonewton meters, while reducing weight by 13 kilograms and allowing for 11 liters more trunk space, according to NIO. And as we saw last week, it's a beautiful car. So, we see that the die casting is working very well for Tesla, and to the point that the GM is using it for members of their car, and Ford and VW are doing the same. NIO's taking the Tesla approach and is die casting the whole car where possible. There it is again. I noticed in this beauty shot they have minimized the unicorn horn. As Monroe said, only China EV makers are competitive. It's appearing that way. Tesla Roshi is asking, did they get the machinery from IDRA as well? I wonder if anyone has thought of purchasing IDRA to deal a blow to Tesla. I wonder if Tesla's thought about purchasing IDRA to bring it all in-house like they did with Grumman Automotive. IDRA is owned by a Chinese company, and you can bet this manufacturing approach is going to be rapidly adopted by the Chinese EV makers, according to Axion. Axion? Interesting. I forgot to capture the likes. I saw these somewhere else. And this is why I'm not worried about NIO, XPeng, and other Chinese EVs. They only copy Tesla, but innovates at a fast pace. I don't want to say they only copy, but I do agree that they are very comfortable with taking good ideas and implementing them. And he has a point. And that lettuce man also has a point. All right, I think we're done with this one. Oh no, there's more. China's pace of innovations, they copy fast. Only difference is the taillights. Okay, let's move on to more stuff. All right, so you guys know we like to do crash tests here. So let's look at the BMW X5 with the beaver teeth. This is coming from the Euro NCAP. So it's in their home field. Let's take a look. It's an interesting deflation device on the airbag. I think I'm gonna mute this. I don't know where the music's coming from. Wow. Beaver teeth are more solid than the hood. Or bonnet. Ouch, that passenger, man. Oof. At least there was another airbag to protect him. I mean, those aren't terrible scores, but at this day and age, I think with the amount of money they have in R&D, that they could just ace these tests. But as we saw a couple weeks ago with the Dacia Spring and the new Renault, that's not necessarily the case with their 0-star ratings. Well, the 1-star and 0-star, as the Dacia Spring had a 1-star. See what does the VR use? Okay, it's got the where the hood pops up at the rear. I think it's a little too tall for the sausage noodle test. All right. The automated features look good. To get a 73, I have a feeling it hit somebody. Bicycle? Whoa, that was close, but he did it. All right. Cyclist. I have a feeling it's going to attack the cyclist coming across the path. I think that was a tap. Yeah, if any manufacturer fails this at this point, the following, they ought not be making cars, or at least they need to buy from another vendor. Road edge detection. That's a good test. All right, there we go. So better than last week, but I still think there's room for improvement. So they got a 91 and an 87% on the adult and child occupant results. Not as high as the Mercedes-Benz EQS at 96 and 91%. The VRU is at 73, and the safety assist is 1% above the Mercedes. All right. Hello, Leo. Yeah. So let's take a look at, let's see, 91% adult, 87% child, vulnerable road users 73%, and safety assist 81. So this is not a bad showing. I'm spoiled. I want these numbers higher. I mean, they have all this money and all these engineers. I understand safety costs, but let's pay for it. Let's make it affordable. If its safety is standard, then it can be affordable. If it's an option, then it's going to be an expensive option. And that's not our last crash test for this week, but it's our last crash test for now. This next one's coming from Tasmanian. A Challenger sleigh. Interesting. I'm curious what the EV Challenger will be. If they don't use Charger as one of their EVs for the EV Charger, then they have missed an opportunity. So Tesla sets the highest. I don't know what I was responding to. I was responding to Liam's chat there. Stream car is a Challenger sleigh. Tesla sets the highest annual registrations yet in Norway with the recent Model 3 and Model Y batch. Let's see how many they did this time. 19,000 units. Increasing the number of vehicles registered in 2021 every day. Yeah. Let's see. Loading onto the trailer as we speak. My goodness. I think this year they hit 1 million, maybe even higher. It's all hands on deck though. Elon's tweeting, "Hey, we need help selling. We need help uh, delivering." So it's going to be an exciting year. And Dodge has already said they're not making electric cars; they're making e-muscle cars, as if they weren't electric. I would like to see what Dodge's take on the EV is, because we've got plenty of powerful cars, we've got plenty of economical cars, and we've got plenty of funny looking cars. So I'm curious to see what Dodge's take is on on how they do the e-muscle, and what makes it different than your typical electric car. And hopefully they keep their prices kind of at the lower end, like they have been doing, for be able to get into the cars. They do get up there if you start checking the option boxes, but they have been historically been very accessible to get into before you start adding those extra options. And then they also have the opportunity for you to later on go through and not necessarily under warranty or anything, but be able to make the car have more performance later, either through purchasing the higher spec parts, or through the factory options, or at least being available to the aftermarket. My friend said, "How would you feel if Dodge made electric cars?" And I said, "Oh heck no!" Right, right. I think that's part of the reason that Dodge doesn't want to claim electric cars. They want to claim e-muscle, and I'm curious how they message this, because I've been watching Ford's messaging, and I think we may have it on this show, where they were talking about some of the stuff that people see as a drawback for EVs, such as charging and range, and they addressed it very nicely without putting down their gas cars, which is really tough to do when most of your business is gas cars. And I am excited to see what Dodge does with this. And if they invite me somewhere, I would be glad to go hear the messaging. All right. So speaking of companies that we didn't think would do very well with electric, Nikola has delivered the first Nikola trays. They are electric trucks that don't use any hydrogen, because we know that's a scam, or at least theirs was. There we go. So I do wish them luck, because we need to electrify all the things. And what better place to do it than in shipping and transport, because those are our biggest emitters. You've got ships, and you've got trains and trucks, and of course airplanes. But those are harder to do, because you need cargo, you need range, and then cost. Yeah, yeah, that one looks great. But then also take a look at this. I like this one better. Boom! It's powerful too. We're looking at, let me minimize this. We're looking at less than 2 kilowatt hours a mile, 0.36 coefficient of drag, uh, 0 to 60 in 20 seconds with the full load, 0 to 60 in 5 seconds with no load. Exactly, exactly. And according to Pepsi, we should be seeing it in the next couple days, because in order for them to have it by 2021 as promised, they have got, what's that, 5 days? 5 days. All right, Dan may join us later today. He says he's cooking. All right, so let's go on to the next one. That was faster than I expected. What's up, Dan?
What's going on, Casey?
Not too much. All right, so Slayer Merritt shares with us a he's been informed of the following regarding Tesla's Berlin Gigafactory. Giga Berlin has built about 240 Model Ys so far, with another 25 or so planned to be built this week. One of 7. So let's take a look and see what else these people told him. But 240 Model Ys is significant. 1 second, please. I was afraid I was rebroadcasting somebody else's video to you guys, because background noise. All right, so 250 cars is significant, and some of the cars are for crash test, weather toughness, water tightness, etc. Some are for testing the recycling process of the factory, and that's another big thing that comes up. Is people always ask, "Oh, what are you going to do when the car is done?" Every electrified car so far has had a recycling program come online with it at the same time from the original Prius. Back in '97, Toyota was already looking at recycling the batteries, recycling the car, and same with Tesla. When the Roadster came out, the recycling program was actually up and running before the Roadster came out, and they've continued. I'm talking the original Roadster, not the new one, because everything was up and running before that original Roadster came out. So they recycle the batteries, they rework them, but they recycle the whole car too. Giga Berlin is working on launching 3 new paint colors, the names of which I have now independently confirmed are Deep Crimson Multicoat, Abyss Blue Multicoat, and Mercury Silver Metallic. Silver's back, baby. Like real silver, not the polished metal metallic, which is not at all silver. It's gray.
So red, blue, and gray.
A new red, a new blue, and silver.
So why don't they just say that?
Because Tesla used to have car colors. They used to call them red, brown, blue, green, white, and black. And then all of a sudden they went the way that every other car maker does and gave their cars color names. Like mine is called Obsidian Black Metallic.
You're not going to call in, yeah, we got a Obsidian Black Metallic car. No.
Yeah.
Just say it for what it is.
Right? Liam said his dad works for Pepsi in Kearney, New Jersey. I visited Kearney a couple times. I was through there on our Thanksgiving trip, and I did a review of your supercharger where I pronounced the name of your town completely wrong because look at it. But it's Kearney, not what I said in the video. And yeah, so I'm curious how many Pepsi gets. I expect that they may only get 1 or 2 this year, but from what we saw with the test drives at the Nevada Gigafactory, they may be ready. Awesome. All right, let's see. So they got the 3 new car colors. Giga Berlin will only ship the Performance Model Y in black and white for now. If the paint goes well, then other colors will follow. Which makes sense. You don't want to try out a new process and have to recall all of your paint when you can just have 2 colors, work it out, and these are the more traditional car colors, black and white, because they're harder to mess up. And so once you've got them dialed in, then you can go on to the more fancy stuff. Just like that's why the Model T was black. Any color you want, as long as it's black. Tesla hopes to deliver its first Giga Berlin-made cars to customers around mid-January, but this depends on whether Germany gives them the necessary approvals in time, which is a big if. Yes, because who knows who the next astroturfer is or the next politician. Germany is not secured yet. It's close, but anything could happen as far as when they can put their first car out. Going back to paint, the 3 new colors will have 8 total layers. I'm told the current higher-end Tesla paints have 5 or 6 layers in total, so the new colors will be getting a few additional coats, which should really make the colors pop and give them some great depth. And then I'm going to add here also some more durability. So I'm excited about these new colors because if Giga Berlin is getting these, then Terra Texas should be getting them, right? And if those 2 have them, they can go back and upgrade Shanghai and Fremont eventually. What's that, Dan?
So the number of coats directly correlate with the durability?
Not necessarily, but if there's more material there and you catch a rock chip, it may not go through the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, in the places where they don't put as much paint, there's a chance you'll get a better coverage, like inside the door jambs. With most Teslas right now, when you open the door jambs, it's kind of brown because that's the color of the primer and the rust inhibitor. Yeah, or corrosion inhibitor, not say rust on aluminum. Yeah. Current Giga Berlin Model Ys have a mix of 16 volt and 12 volt batteries, I'm told. So I'm not sure if they'll launch with a mix or just 16 volts. Interesting. Berlin will build 2170 packs in the beginning, with a structural version launching later in 2022. Model Y will launch with front and rear castings. So I think that might be a supply concern because right now Shanghai is building with well, Fremont is now too. They're building the lithium starter batteries. They run at 16 volts, which is we saw they had a delay with the Model Y because the wipers couldn't run at 16 volts, and they had to get more 16-volt wiper motors. And so I don't know if this is the case of supply and demand for the accessories or supply and demand for the lithium batteries themselves, because when you look at securing batteries to drive the car with, it's still a concern. So they might be in the same boat there. Finally, Giga Berlin is pretty much ready to rock, but is waiting for final approval. Once they do receive their final approval, I'm told Tesla could start pumping out cars in as little as 2 weeks. Everything I've seen, Giga Berlin is truly a next-gen factory. It's incredible. Yeah, absolutely. And, this is new. This wasn't here when I read it originally. Correction, a miscommunication on my source regarding the 12-volt battery. All Giga Berlin Ys will have the 12-volt lithium-ion battery, which is actually 15.5 volts. There will be no 12-volt lead-acid batteries. Great. Less lead means less chance to corrupt the environment. And
Is this source
looks like that's
Elon
been solved.
himself?
Huh?
Is this source Elon?
Who knows? I'm not going to probe him for his sources. No, Liam,
Half
you're not the only one on the
information's just from
stream.
the source.
A lot of people just don't talk much, and I do appreciate talking, so that's fun. Thank you.
It's like,
Say again, Dan, the last part?
it's like that email that got out about the worker or
Yeah.
something. I was like, how did these emails be getting out?
Some
You're
of
the
them come from
designated
Elon.
person to leak stuff.
All right, so 6.9 amp hour battery. That's a tiny amount of amp hours, but it can run it deeper. It doesn't need to crank an engine, so that's fine. Also, it's already running at the needs of the computers, so that's actually it's a better fit. Popping in here and saying hi to Mr. Dees. Oh yeah, I think that if if Volkswagen Auto Group continues to mess with Mr. Dees, he will end up at Tesla, whether they fire him or they just make him so angry he leaves. So,
Oh yeah, he surely will. They'll end up giving him some position, probably their public affairs they don't have, but something where he keeps talking like Elon does outside somewhere.
I think he'd be good to do public affairs, but I think given his experience, it'd be also good to put him somewhere else. Maybe make him do double duty.
That's where the leaks keep coming from. The air quote
It's
leaks.
possible. He's got copies of all their emails. They forgot to take him off the list.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Legacy Roofing Utah we've installed a Tesla roof, solar roofing on this beautiful home in Holiday, Utah. Not only is it gorgeous, but it's also like having your own personal power plant. Oh wait, they have a before and after. All right, so check out the before below. So this is what it used to look like. It needed a new roof. Look at this thing. I never understood this style of shingle. From my understanding, it makes the house more flammable. Correct? I don't want my house to be more flammable. Well, now that problem is gone. Look at this thing. It's beautiful.
Shiny too.
And shiny, yes. And I wonder how many of them are productive panels and how many of them are just decorative glass.
Imagine if all of them were.
Hmm?
Imagine if all of them were useful.
You can't, because you got to be able to have some fire safety.
Well, just imagine the efficiency.
All right, so here's the garage, and here's the after. Also during construction. So this looks like what we saw during the flyover for the Cybertruck, where they have the prototype roofs or the demo installs, and then there's the completed garage. Nice. All right, let's see. Let's give them some hearts for that. That's good work. I didn't heart the original post. I'm such a bad internet person. Absolutely gorgeous. Post the total installation price. I'm figuring 150,000 plus, and don't say it's confidential. Post a range then. Wow, that's super rude. I mean, there's a way to ask that question without seeming like a jerk, and someone's demanding.
That's something when you at least ask, can you DM me He let me know off to the side.
I'm looking into this. How many per square foot? What kind of, what are we talking about here?
Can you DM me? I'm really interested.
Yeah.
Nice.
Solar Roof is fabulous structural complement to that stunning home. Superb roofing work. Legacy Roofing. Thank you for sharing. Really impressive. All right, what's next? Again, this is not a stock show. This is not a financial advice. If you are interested in what I'm about to say here, go consult with your experts or your advisory team, or think long and hard about it and make your own choice. Lucid has announced full exercise of convertible notes, Greenshoe raising an aggregate total in excess of $2 billion in equity shares, beginning trading today as part of NASDAQ 100 index. So you too can buy Lucid. And I wonder if it says their symbol, because I'm not seeing it straight up. All right, I typed in symbol and ticker, and nothing showed up. I don't know what the ticker is. I'm sorry. All right, this is a research show. All right, their ticker is LCID, and wherever Microsoft gets their stock analysis from, they're rated a buy. 1 year target price of $38. Earnings per share estimate is a $1.72 per share loss, and they're rated between a buy and a hold, depending on who these folks are. 3 analysts as of the 23rd. A little bit of a discount right now. I might pick up a couple shares. We'll see. I might have this article in this show, but currently Lucid is having a little bit of growing pains right now with their deliveries, but everybody does, so it's just a matter now of how they get through it. All right, so somebody had a fun picture at work the other day. We had a photo shoot at work. One is the most advanced weapon in the world. The other is an F-35A. Oh, wait, I clicked on it and it went full screen for me, but not for you guys. Stand by. I need to work on the way that I open links. Yeah, there we go. That's a beautiful picture. I like the 21 wheel covers better than the previous ones. Still prefer the actual wheels over the covers on them, but not bad. Oh, well, that didn't do exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to stop sharing the... Oh, wait, I see what happened. All right, so this is coming from Ulasana on Reddit. Give them their update. They're at 249. Somebody give them an update here. There's the link in the chat. If only the one that cost $78 million could fart on turn signal. No, it makes a more notable sound once it hits Mach 1. I recall a few years ago on an F1 car came out and raced one of our F-18s. That was amazing. F1 nerd here. Did you have any pictures? Do you know the year or the team? Any notable sponsors or livery? This is the best link I could find. Oh, Red Bull versus Jet. Sweet. And then this one is... Why is it like that? Oh, Top Gear recently had an F-35B race against a McLaren Speedtail. There we go. All right, so I was hoping that one of our Model Y owners was, or our Model S Plaid owners would be on the show today for this next article. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Sorry, I got a message over this way. All right, so this next one, I'm going to preface by saying that my car has been deemed legacy, so I don't have this one. I'm still stuck on FSD beta 10.6.1, and the corresponding software that goes with it. So I don't have waypoints. I don't have any of this new stuff like Tidal or this freaking holiday update. In it, you got a light show, customizable app launcher, simplified controls, blind spot camera, which apparently I'll never get, nor the simplified controls. You can edit your waypoints, get TikTok, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Battle of Polytopia, multiplayer support, and Sudoku. I do get all of those things.
Wait a minute, TikTok?
Whenever I do get the update. Huh?
TikTok?
TikTok.
God bless America. Really, God bless America, Elon. You must want every teenager and millennial to buy this car.
Hey, I mean, you should see the amount of children that point at my car and go, Tesla!
TikTok. I'm still stuck on the fact that my daughter went to TikTok.
All right, so let me see if I've got another. All right, we'll come back to the holiday update. We'll come back to it. But just know I don't have it yet, and nor does anybody else with a screen that goes like this instead of like this. We don't know why. Tesla has forsaken us. They called us legacy, and then also didn't give us the update. And SpaceX had their last launch of 2021, and it was a success. It was not a Crew Dragon; it was a Cargo Dragon. So they have the same chassis, but as you see, this one doesn't have the what do they call them? The Super Dracos for launch escape, because it doesn't need them because there's nobody to protect. And it was also their was it 100th launch and landing? No, the 100th landing, I believe.
Yes, 100. They've been throwing them in the sky for like one to be in the air, and then they launch another one, play double dutch it with the other one coming back, and I'm like,
right, they do that.
Between September and now, they've been launching them fairly quickly, like 2 in a week, and it's like, really?
Well, this month they had one where they were 18 hours apart. That was super close. Like they were in the same day.
Like they launched one and had the other rocket ready to go, and I'm like, no breaks, no tell us so we have time to prepare. Like I barely took one off of the TV for my kids to see, and there's another one already. Like
yeah, absolutely. Man. So this is coming from SpaceX. Falcon 9's first stage has landed on Just Read the Instructions drone ship, marking the 100th successful landing of an orbital-class rocket booster. 6 years ago today, SpaceX successfully landed their first orbital-class rocket booster for the first time. So just 6 years ago, they launched and landed number 1. The first one to come back as a whole piece. And then just 6 years later, they did number 100 on the exact same day. I bet you they were pushing for that one.
I'm pretty sure they were.
Yeah. Feels like just yesterday, you all successfully landed the first booster back at landing zone 1. Nice work, SpaceX. Here's to 100 more.
Now, the cool thing is if you go back to like the YouTube comments, there's always somebody that's like 60 or something where they watch the Apollo moon landings and they're like, this is nice to see in my lifetime. I was like, you were alive then? You were like middle-aged, or you were like coming out of high school. Like, you have to tell me the story. It's always cool to see those comments where somebody is legit happy and surprised to see it back in the space again.
Nice. 94% of all missions this year were carried out by SpaceX's fleet of flight-proven orbital-class rocket boosters. Now, is that 94% of all space missions or 94% of SpaceX's missions? Because I know SpaceX had a significant launch or portion of all of the world's launches this year. Let's see if they detail that any further.
I think SpaceX had to deny one. That's how frequent they are. They just launched a new telescope, the Hubble 2. I know it's not called the Hubble 2.
No, it's the James Webb, and that one that they did not get because their rocket's not big enough, I think. Although it will be able to do it on Starship.
Yeah. Okay. Is that the reason why? Because Starship, or there had to be.
Well, also government stuff. They can't get them all.
Yeah, I figured as much because I was like, I immediately thought when NASA was launching, I was like, yeah, go to space. Wait a minute, SpaceX is not launching this.
It went on a European rocket, the Ariane.
Yeah, I had to look it up.
The 100th rocket recovery. SpaceX remains the only launch provider in the world capable of propulsive landing and reflight of orbital-class rockets. They did 138 successful missions. landed the first stage 100 times, reflown booster 78 times, with flight-proven first stages completing 75% of SpaceX's missions since the first reflight of a Falcon 9 in 2017. 2021 was particularly impressive, launched 94% of all missions on flight-proven Falcon 9 boosters. They're still not clear. I think that's just theirs. Successfully carried 8 astronauts to the ISS, and then 4 more astronauts just on a free float mission around the world for a couple days.
Inspiration. Yeah, Inspiration 4.
Yep.
When you have money, you can just buy it and then do a
Well, it
fundraiser.
was for a good cause. It was for children's cancer.
Yeah, which was impressive because it made it made 2 billionaires look fairly good if you do your research. You could just
Well, also when you consider that the Rocket by the Smile people, it was not a charity mission, so that was just a billionaire plaything. How many did they do now this year? 3, 2? To the edge of space and back.
This one had those are the edge. That's like putting a tip in. Sorry.
And then you had Branson's rocket has launched one time. I don't know if they've cleared their safety review since they launched with warning lights on and really pissed off the regulators.
But yeah, to actually throw it in orbit, take the L, try to get a little Netflix special out of it, send people that actually want to go, that can actually perform the experiments and neat stuff. Yeah. It's kind of something to pay attention.
They've got some more of these scheduled for next year. I don't think that they are for charity, though. I think they're just profit missions. Launch humanity's first planetary defense test to redirect an asteroid, among other important scientific missions. I need to look and see how that one went.
And that one was awesome.
Yeah.
The anti-asteroid one.
Yeah.
That one was cool.
And deployed more than 800 Starlink satellites to low Earth orbit, where we're helping to connect over 1,500 customers and counting with the world's high-speed, low-latency internet. Mine says it'll come sometime next year. I don't want to touch the button because then I might lose. Some people have adjusted their space on the map by a couple feet and then got pushed to the back of the line. So, yeah, I'm not touching mine. In the year ahead, SpaceX's launch cadence will continue to increase, as will the number of flight-proven missions, and faceplate missions, and Falcon Heavy missions. I love Falcon Heavy. We watched the very first one launch Elon's car into space live from Cape Canaveral, and that was a blast. So I can't wait to do the same for Starship. In the year ahead, we're also targeting the first orbital flight of Starship and have resumed development of the lunar lander for NASA that will help return humanity to the moon on our way to Mars and beyond. That one got held up with some lawsuits from Jeff Hu, and that went off the screen. I'm sorry. You guys didn't even see any of it. Anyway, what's next? This arrived. It is the Giga Texas belt buckle. Live unboxing.
When you want to go country, an EV. Imagine somebody.
I don't know that you can call it Texas country. They're their own special situation. This box feels really nice. It's got a texture to it. It's got a little silver inlay. There's Tesla on the side. Tesla Giga Texas belt buckle. Same says on the front. Tesla logo. On the back, it's a Giga Texas belt buckle made on Earth by humans. And it's got a barcode. Origin country is China. So let's open it now.
Wait a minute. Origin country is China?
Yes. All right, so mine wasn't that tight in there. Ta-da. All right, let me find this button here. Oh, wait, I can't. It's on another screen. My stunner. The one that is blurring out the background. Okay. So it's got a little loop there that the belt will go into, and it's got a little peg that would go into the belt holes. I'm not much into belt buckles, so we'll see what I do with this one. It'll probably live on the shelf. There we go. I'll put it back in the plastic in a minute. So the next story is also a SpaceX story, so that's the same one. So here's another company that was having trouble with their deliveries, which hopefully they also get through. The first Rivian R1S has been delivered to CEO RJ Syringe at a full volume production in 2022. Breakneck Trent is wearing his now. Nice. The one I'm wearing now is it's like the ratchet belt where it doesn't have the holes in the belt. It has a system in the back, and they kind of ratchet closed. So that's why I can't wear it with this particular belt. So yeah, so he got the first production unit. More power to him. He's the CEO. Kind of interesting. I like the way that Elon was like number 2 on a lot of their cars instead of number 1. But that was his prerogative as well. I had a chance to visit the R1S. I was actually in this video I'm making for my destination charger review. I had a chance to revisit my my Rivian experience, and it took me back a ways, and that was fun until Rihanna kicked us out for her her viewing. So he tweeted that they made their first R1S deliveries last week from their factory in Normal, Illinois, to RJ and CFO Claire. Oh, is that 2? All right. We're working towards ramping production over the next few months on our way to full volume production. Thanks to our team for all the hard work to make it happen. Yeah, so congrats.
Now the true test comes into play.
Volume. All right, I said that was that the beaver teeth wasn't our last crash test of the day, and it's not. There is no customization on this cookie. Did I really agree, or was I under duress there? All right, so the IIS-HLDI. Let's look and see what they say. 2021-2022 Model Y midsize luxury sedan qualifies for Top Safety Pick Plus, awarded from the IIHS. To qualify either of the 2 awards, the vehicle must earn good ratings in 6 IH crash test worthiness evaluations, including driver's side, small overlap, etc. Model Y vehicles built after April 21st, 2021 meet all criteria for the Plus. Following a conversion to a camera-only system, the standard front crash prevention system earns a superior rating in both vehicle-to-vehicle and vehicle-to-pedestrian tests. The 2 available headlight systems earn good and acceptable ratings. I did. I got this under-desk treadmill behind me here. I got to set it up because this desk is actually a standing desk. How about you? What'd you get? And thank you. So separately, the standard front crash protection system on the 2021 to 2022 Model 3 vehicles built after April 21st, 2021 also earns a superior rating in both crash avoidance tests following a software update. Vehicles built earlier earn an advanced rating in the vehicle to pedestrian evaluation. So it sounds like that the IHSS prefers camera only to the radar system as well. So let's take a look at these videos and we'll go from there. So one thing we note on this one versus the Model 3 is it had a lot less impact with the barrier. Like it redirects better. And I've got a video, I'm going to link to this after the fact, from another YouTuber who did a shot-by-shot for Model Y and Model 3. I don't know which Model 3 he was comparing, whether it was the one they said was superior or the one they said was advanced. DJI Mini 2 and Oculus Quest 2. Looking forward to using them. Absolutely. I need to get my commercial drone license before I can continue to fly my Mavic 3. Or Mavic 2, sorry. I would like a Mavic 3, but I can't do that until I can fly any of them again. All right. And it's a playlist, so where's the next one? Oh, you gotta wait for it to finish. Finish. There's the moderate overlap. It does its job. So after getting these ratings, I assume that means that the insurance costs may come down, unless they were assuming it would pass with flying colors. Because why not assume that after you've seen all their other vehicles? All right, next one. The serial number CES. So the other YouTuber pointed out that this one was done with the old crash rig rather than the new one, so they could directly compare it versus the Model 3. There we go. So then let's do this. Let's get his link in the chat. This is coming from the Tech of Tech. Catch him after the show. I hit enter. The computer didn't agree. All right, and then on the subject of crashes, Elon has a tweet where he says, whereas radar has trouble seeing small pedestrians, they're obvious to Tesla vision. This one, she says, even the smallest pedestrians, hopefully. Was that the main reason for the switch? Question mark. When will cars with Tesla Vision get bumped up to 85 to 90 max on Autopilot? This is important in Texas, where the speed limit is 85. Better yet, when will Tesla ditch the Autopilot jail for exceeding the Autopilot speed limit? Just disengage the dadgum system like when turning the wheel or tapping the brake pedal. I agree. If you just accelerate out of Autopilot, they should just beep, 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 and then you're on your own. But you could hear it, so you know, oh, whoops. To anyone who disagrees, do you drive with radar shooting out of your eyes? That's what I thought. Elon cares about protecting kids a lot. There's all his boys. Well, not all of his boys. They're missing little baby X and the original baby. Just from, chronologically, it just couldn't happen for that photo. So then let's copy this link here. Oh, okay, it did what I wanted. I was afraid it wasn't going to go there. And that was Tesla's response to them getting the top safety pick plus. Now I can copy the link and paste it in here. And Tesla is basically saying that they got it. Cool beans. Oh, I'm at the bottom of my links instead of the top. All right, let's go back to the top. So, as I was mentioning earlier, Ford is aware that their customers may have some trouble coming to EVs. So they made a nice little thread for us with lots of memes. Let's take a look. We've been trying to get you all comfortable with EVs for a while now, but maybe we were just speaking the wrong language. A thread. Now they're speaking the language of memes. EVs, all of you. Clean, powerful, affordable, capable, easy and fun to use and drive. But how will I remember to plug it in like I do with my watch, phone, headphones, and every night? We're electrifying our most iconic vehicles. Same girl. America. Insane torque, blow your hair back, 0 to 60 speeds, exceptional performance, handling, and with all the spirit of a freaking Mustang. They left the guy's arm there. Look how hairy that arm is. The 157th version of the same SUV with chrome exhaust pipes. Not that there's anything wrong with the girl with hairy arms, just they only replaced her head. It seems kind of lazy memeing. Only drives to school and work each day. Worried about 250 miles of range isn't enough. That's a good one. Inhales. I came like a wrecking ball. me reaching my full karaoke potential in my EV because no engine sound. And somehow you're never worried about how you're flirting with E on the gas tank, how they sleep, wondering if their EV is getting enough charge for the next day, how they sleep, not knowing if their phone, laptop, and toothbrush are all plugged in. This is kind of an interesting take on it because
This goes back.
Go ahead.
This goes back to a actual press release where they hired late millennials and zennials, and they said what can sell this electric. And I'm pretty sure some of these millennials had parents that were of the older generations. So this reaps of them making this thread completely 100%. This just screams them doing this thread 100%. Their PR or the design department for this.
I like that, Trent. Ford, we need to be more like Elon. Who knows how to do memes? They picked somebody who did an okay job, though. I'll tell you that. When your fam made fun of you for getting a crypto and an EV, but now they want financial advice at the holidays.
That's a good one.
You can't take long trips. Meanwhile, I'm on a 1,000-mile trip. How did I get here? Did I snap my fingers? Knowing I can get to work after forgetting to plug in my EV last night. Thriving, moisturized in my lane. Yeah, that's me. I mean, there are days I forget to charge sometimes. I've done it about, 5 times in the last 5 years? It happens sometimes. And then there was that whole year that I lived in the apartment where I only supercharged because they were doing construction on the parking garage. And I was able to charge there 2 days out of the year and a half I was there. And one of the days, the breaker trips. Me wondering who told me EVs need to run on 100% all the time. That part, I don't understand why everybody thinks that the EVs need to be at 100% all the time, and that's why they have to be charging for hours and they can't go anywhere because, oh my goodness, it's down to 98, I better plug it back in. It shouldn't be at 100 in the first place.
Does this mean that gas tank always needs to be full to drive?
That's what Ford's trying to get people to realize is that these people are running around on E all day. Oh, I can go a couple more miles because I'm still on E.
Club static.
Right, club static. But what about charging stations? Me. Don't listen to these jokers. You're doing great. That's right, Brianna. Chargeway. Ford is simplifying EV. Simplifying EVs is important. Memes are simple, but they don't answer people's questions. People need to trust how to use electric fuel to trust Ford EVs. In green charging stations, higher number is faster. Yeah. Chargeway is a good educational tool to know what works for you. You can open up Chargeway and it'll automatically show you by color what works for your car. If it's green, it works. If it's blue, you'll probably need an adapter or it doesn't work at all. And then red just doesn't work for you.
They also have some at that notorious place called dealerships. So there are always some there too. At least the one that is closest to me.
Yeah. Oh, this isn't related to that thread. 2 years ago, I helped with delivery push. Elon Musk cares, and is truly a man of the people. See what he said.
5 hours. Has anyone been waiting for like more than like 4 hours or 5 hours? Really?
It's a long wait.
Whoa. Okay. Okay.
For delivery.
Has anyone been?
I waited quite a few hours to order my Model 3, but not to pick it up. Pick it up was 15 minutes. Same. Well, actually, the Model X was even better. I was there to help with the delivery push, and the service center didn't know what to do with me, so they just moved my car way up in the slot to get me out of there because they weren't sure how North Carolina would treat the free labor because they weren't a store at the time. They had been knocked back down to a gallery because politicians and race car / car dealership owners in North Carolina are jerks, and they were being bullies. All right, so this is in the same thread. EVs have a carbon footprint around 8% of a standard vehicle. No, dude, you're wrong. We probably tested the carbon footprint is less than half of what an equivalent ICE vehicle is. There you go. 1/5 almost with solar, like many of us have, yeah. All right, come on, guys. You don't got to make fun of Ford. They're on board now. That part. So a couple of weeks ago, we talked about how Ducati was selected to be the manufacturer for the Moto E racing series. But then I think it was Dan and I, we pointed out that Ducati doesn't make any electric vehicles, so how do they plan to do this? Well, they have done it. I guess motorcycles are faster to get through the process than automobiles are. So now Ducati is showing off their first electric motorcycles as they set to join Moto E Racing Series. Look sharp. I gotta give it to them. They pulled this one out, and I did not expect that they would, because there were so many actual EV motorcycle makers out there that they could have got the contract, like Zero, Bramo. Oh, no, Bramo's Polaris now, but still, there Harley. People who'd actually made an EV bike before, but Ducati pulled this one off. The next question is, can they make them in the numbers required for the race, and how do they perform for the race, and how do they perform for maintenance and longevity, as far as will they work for the teams the way the fossils do? We'll find out. Let's see what this one's a prototype. As Elon says, prototypes are easy. Energica's contract is ending. Ducati stepped up as a new manufacturer. Yeah, like you said, it was less than 2 months ago. This one's going to be called the Ducati V21L. And we're experiencing a truly extraordinary moment. I find it hard to believe it's reality and still not a dream. The first Ducati on the track is exceptional, not for its uniqueness, but also for the type of undertaking. Challenging both performance objectives and for its extremely short timescales. Yeah, we all pointed that out. Precisely for this reason, the work of the whole team is dedicated into the project has been incredible, and today's result repays us for the efforts made. This was not made for reading aloud. It's very, very awkward. We're certainly not finished yet. Indeed, we know that the road ahead is still very long. In the meantime, we've laid a first important brick. I don't want bricks on my motorcycle. It's beautiful. A lot of carbon fiber.
This
As
is right
goes to
there with
Norway,
the
so
snowmobile.
goes the... Huh?
This is right there with that snowmobile.
Right. As goes Norway, so goes the world. That said, still a long way to go to replace the fleet of combustion vehicles on the road. Absolutely. I mean, this is a good-looking bike. I wish them luck. Electric says, well, that was fast. Yes, that was my reaction as well. It's Elon's response on Twitter. Excellent. And he's right. He's right. All right, so I told you we weren't done with crash tests. Here's another one. This one is the Fiat 500e. It receives a 4-star safety rating from the Euro NCAP. So let's take a look. All right, adult occupancy 76%. Still better than the Peugeot. The door stayed on. That looks so much better than the first one. I guess because now they actually want to build it rather than have to. All right. Look, the glass didn't break. There was no intrusion into the cabin. It completely crumpled, which is good. It means the energy went somewhere. There's side impact. It's a smaller car, so it flying all the way out is not to be unexpected. The door mostly stayed closed. The top of the window came out. That happens. Let's see how the pull test does. Not too much in intrusion. Pretty good for a car with a metal roof. Look at that. I'd say that's Volvo-like. See how the seat does. Oh, a good bit of motion on the seat when it started going forward. All right, it was good for children at 80%. See, this is what I want to be able to see, is that people can get small, affordable cars and not have to worry. I like the 500 branding on the seat. You can get small, affordable cars and not have to risk your family safety just because, it's all you can afford. In this case, though, it's some people just like small cars. The 500e is not a bad choice, and since it's smaller, it actually did all right in the pedestrians and the sausage noodle test.
What was the big ball test for?
The head versus hood. All right. It looked like it clipped the guy's back of the legs when he was coming up the other way at night. All right. That's a hard one right there. This is new. I like it. Or at least putting in the video is new. All right, cyclist. So why did they lose points other than tapping that guy in the back of the legs? What does it clip the cyclist? Nope. Yep. Safety assist, 67%. You gotta spend the money on the. If you can't do it yourself, you gotta buy boards from people who do. Great points. Edge of road detection. So I noticed that the last car didn't have paint on the edge of the road. It was just expected to do all right. The BMW was expected to do all right with grass, but the Fiat got a line painted on the edge. YouTube thinks you should watch this chat that we're on right now. I agree. All right, so we talked about these good performances from the BMW and the Fiat. Now, let's take a look at something else. So we saw last week the Dacia Spring got a 1-star. Here it is again for those who don't remember. But the folks at Euro NCAP had something to say about it. They actually editorialized, which I don't know they've done this before, and I agree with what they had to say, though. So there's Dacia Spring getting its 1-star, and the Renault Zoe got a 0-star for the new model. And they had something to say about it, and let's let the carnage finish before I go on. Remember, these are budget cars. This is all you can afford if you get a new car and you're unlimited income. And this is your choices. This and one that got a 0. How do you feel about that? I mean, I have a few choices and I don't feel good about it. And you have to get your family around, and then you have to hope that nobody takes you out on the way. I mean, yeah, you can make sure your own driving is all right, but there's just points of it that are out of our control. I mean, look at that pull test. It was terrible. Look how far in it came. Look where the roof went. Look what happened to the driver. The car looks like a taco. And the seat. All right, so that's enough of that. Let's go on to what they said at Euro NCAP. Only a few months ago, Dacia claimed that they were preoccupied with always increasing safety for those on board, and that their cars have passenger safety. Their cars always have passenger safety improved, the Autocar. That's clearly not the case. Not only do these cars fail to offer any appreciable active safety as standard, but their occupant protection is also worse than any vehicle we've seen in many years. It is cynical to offer the consumer an affordable green car if it comes at the price of a higher injury risk in the event of an accident. Other cars, such as the Fiat 500e, recently awarded 5 stars in the green NCAP, show that safety does not need to be sacrificed for environmental cleanliness. Tesla and Volkswagen, BMW. I agree, and I don't know if these folks normally editorialize. I haven't seen it in the past, and kudos to them for speaking up for what's right. Right, Dan?
I'm sorry, I was off a little bit. I heard it all. That's the first time I heard a safety team speak up and go, "We're disappointed."
Right.
And basically the same sense a parent would say, "I'm disappointed in you."
I'm disappointed in you. I know you're capable of better. And they are. I mean, these car companies, they have these huge R&D budgets, and if they could just donate a little bit of that advertising campaign into the safety campaign, they'd be fine.
Definitely, because that's horrendous. It help would go a long way for almost all EVs, especially when others light on fire faster or ice.
Right.
Oh, Elon responded to that one on Twitter. Did he respond to that one?
Mm-hmm.
The last one? Okay. Definitely. Did you already go over the Snowmobile?
No.
Oh,
Send me a link.
Ooh, let me find it. Be right back.
All right, so the 2022 Model X official EPA range ratings are 2 to 3 miles lower than Tesla's estimates. So apparently even Tesla can't get the EPA when they try. 2 to 3 miles is not much. What's important is that that your car is able to achieve the EPA if you drive the EPA tests, and that they don't cheat on the test. So now that you know what it's rated at, you can make up your own mind as to which one to get. So the 2022 Model X and Plaid with 22s get 102 mpge, 98 mpge, and 91 mpge. I would stay away from the 22-inch wheels on the Tesla just because you lose towing capacity, and you also become more susceptible to tire damage and wheel damage with the lower profile wheels. So this would be where I'd be at. And that's where I am now, but on the older car. I think mine got a 97 or 96. It was 91. It was pretty low, and they've improved it. So on the test, they got 333 miles of range on the Plaid to my 289, allegedly. And if you go with the lighter unit, you're looking at 248 miles of range. 348 miles of range. Not bad. You're still over 300 with the Plaid with the big old wheels. The only thing that would push me towards the 22s on the X is if I was going to take it to the circuit track, which is a weird move with a bus because it weighs 6,000 pounds. The only thing that would put me there would be if I wanted the performance brake package, if they end up offering it on the X, and that would do that. But I'm not circuit racing my Model X, and so I would recommend staying at the 20s. It's cold outside. -8°C, 17.6 degrees Fahrenheit. We're looking at 62 degrees Fahrenheit. I had to turn the air conditioner back on because it was getting warm in here. And normal folks would say, well, why don't you open a window? Because if I open a window, you'd hear all the people thinking that this road is a drag strip and all the police, ambulance, and fire sirens that go off all day long. All right, let's take a look here. Dan sent us a electric snowmobile. All right,
Found by our friend. It was found by our friend Trent.
Oh, Trent did this? Oh, Trent found it.
Yep.
I was getting excited. I was like, Trent makes snowmobiles.
He found this. It was a great find out.
Taiga Electric snowmobiles roll off the production line. That's cool. Electrify all the things. And recreation is one place that fossils, they generally don't have to meet emissions requirements. And so you'll find that a leaf blower puts out more emissions out its exhaust pipe than about 6 Toyota Camrys. And then when you consider what it's actually blowing up off the ground, it's even worse. And so the snowmobile is a good one to go. It can get up to 100 kilometers an hour in just 3 seconds. That's fast. That's a 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. 0 to 62, actually, 3 seconds.
On snow. Not the best thing to have traction on.
This is true. And now the first consumer cars, the first products to roll off the line. All right, do they have a price? Do they have anything more about it? Figures? Deliveries to pre-order customers expected to start in 22. And the model lineup comprises the Eco Mountain Snowmobile, Atlas Crossover, and Nomad Touring. Have you seen the people who convert their snowmobiles to run during the warmer months? It's an interesting setup that they do there. Taiga says they can look forward to instant torque, 0 throttle lag, and a thermal management system has been included to keep the battery in tip-top condition, even when temperatures plummet to well below 0. And DC fast charging is supported. The setup also supports custom adjustment of drive parameters and a companion mobile app that caters for route planning and tracking. Nice.
Route planning on a snowmobile. That's interesting.
Yeah, you got to know where you're going when you got a range. 0 to 62 time of 4.1 seconds for the Echo. 120 horsepower electric train, includes a composite belt and 165 by 15 by 2.5 inch track. There we go. Estimated range per charge is 98 kilometers or 60 miles. Double wishbone suspension with 220 millimeters of travel. Multi-link rear suspension with 270 millimeters of travel. And haze disc braking with adaptive regen. Can also trickle back some charge into the battery. Interesting. HD display allows for GPS mapping and custom terrain profiles. So what do you need the app for? To send it to the snowmobile on your way out? The performance flavor is the same snowmobile, but with 180 horsepower drive for 3.3 second 0 to 62, and a range of 81 miles, 131 kilometers. Okay, so yeah, you get a bigger battery. That makes sense. 87 miles for the other one. The performance other one. Yeah. Looks like fun. And to know they're not tearing up the environment while they do it. Assuming they stay on the prescribed paths.
It completely blew my mind looking at it. I've never thought of a snowmobile whatsoever. But
I don't like being cold, so it's not really my cup of joe, but this looks like a good solid option.
Just to have a snowmobile when this is everything's electric.
What am I going to do with a snowmobile? I would use it like once every other year.
Imagine being in Canada and you have the ice winter package for a Tesla. It's like, hey, yeah, I can tow my snowmobile up the hill. You're like, oh, what?
I do have the cold weather package. I'll have to ask Mark how often he uses a snowmobile. That'll tell me what to expect.
Well, that would be a cycle thing.
All right, and in not so good news, too bad Eddie doesn't watch us here on YouTube. He watches us on Facebook. So he's not seeing this because Facebook is being a jerk to me today. General Motors will extend production halt of electric Bolt through the end of February. Automaker. So if this is to allow more batteries for the recall, good. If it's for any other reason, this is a bad thing. A bad sign. Mark said, you mean through the end of time. Which is possible. You did it, Mary, you led. Oh, come on now, come on. You changed the whole story, Mary. Wherever you are, there you are. You did it, Mary. This is the other acceptable answer, is if it's a supply chain shortage. Hopefully it's not low demand, but at the same time, I would not have been looking to buy a Bolt until they completed the recall where it came with new battery cells. I would not have purchased one when they said, okay, we're good, the software is golden, have a nice day. I would have been like, nah, bro, prove it. So, speaking of electric motorcycles, how about an affordable one? BMW's new partnership should bring affordable motorcycles, according to Electric. Electric motorcycle prices may be dropping slightly, but they are still a premium over gas-powered motorcycles. BMW and TVS have worked together for years to co-develop a smaller displacement gas-powered motorcycle, and now they are going to do it for electric. Based on the decision, TVS Motor Company scope will include the design and development of future BMW Motorrad products, delivering world-class quality, supply chain management, and industrialization. Under the enhanced cooperation, both companies have identified a range of products and technologies to deliver significant business benefits. So, if they can do it again, then great. This prototype looks good. I'd like a little more bike than that, but I mean, to start. Or you could put it on a moped, that would be cool too.
A moped would be awesome.
Yeah, there are very few electric mopeds out there.
I thought on Buffalo's a moped. Very good moped.
What about you, Anders? Would you use an electric snowmobile? All right, Tesla Roddy is reporting that exclusive. Rivian won it what Georgia had. Here's how the Peach State became Rivian's $5 billion match. It's the perfect company for the perfect site. So it sounds like kind of like how Oklahoma was courting Tesla and how Nevada successfully courted Tesla, even though it didn't work out that well. I mean, it worked out, but not the way they planned. And I didn't read the article, so I'll paste it here so you guys can read it later.
Boop. I'm still trying to figure out how they come to one of the most EV states.
Well, why is Tesla in Texas? They want nothing to do with what Tesla has to offer.
Money.
Right.
Money.
Well, there was no incentive from them for Tesla. There was for Oklahoma. Tesla authorities submit documents for German plant approval. So this goes in line with what Sawyer was saying, that they're working on it, and we'll see if they get their final approval for the paperwork. That's coming from Reuters. And Ferrari plans new leadership structure. The top managers are to leave. Those leaving include the CTO, Michael Leiters, who developed the brand's hybrids. We'll see where this goes. Gratuitous Ferrari shot. And let's see, they're going to lose their CTO. And yeah, CTO Michael Leiters, we already talked about. Who else is leaving? Vigna, an industry veteran, took the CEO role at the beginning of September with a task to drive Ferrari into the new era of electrification. Okay, so this is them responding to their previous comments about how they were not at all interested in electricity. So this is a good thing. Other managers leaving are the CMO, Vincent Regazzoni, and Chief Brand Diversification Officer, Niccolo Borai, who oversaw Ferrari's push into luxury with the unveiling of June of its first in-house fashion collection. Oh, okay, luxury fashion. I took that to be luxury cars, and I was thinking, that's something you want to have at that price point. All right, so we'll see what becomes of this. We'll keep an eye on it over the coming months. And let's go back to the Cybertruck. Teslarati found a patent that suggests that the Cybertruck's hints at folding rear seats for more utility and fun. And this is good because the Cybertruck has everything that I wanted out of my Model X, except for one more seat. And since I'm in line for a Cybertruck, being able to continue to meet that original need will be really nice, even if I don't keep the original car. That's kind of how the seats fold on my car now, because I've got the 5-seat model. Patented and shows both folding front mid seat and folding rear seats. But we already knew that the mid seat in the front would fold because they told us it would, and they showed us. But the back seat's folding was not a given. I can't think of other reasons you would want the second row of a truck like this to fold. Is there something we're missing? Yes, other trucks do have fold flat second row seats. Why would you not want that? Come on, guy. That's coming from the kilowatts. Let's see what people responded to him, if they were nicer of a response than I just gave. We don't ever understand why this would require a 60-40 split. That type of folding seat is common in sedans and SUVs to allow longer objects to pass from. Yeah, well, the trucks today do have one-piece bench folding seats, but they also have the split, because the split is lighter and it does allow more flexibility. You can still have somebody in the back or some bodies in the back and then have whatever you needed the flat surface for. Maybe storing things on a flat surface to not damage the seats is an idea. I hope we'll grant access to the bed, but I don't want to get my hopes up. Yeah, I don't want to get my hopes up either, because Elon promised us waypoints for a while and then changed his mind. And now they're back and we have them, and they're called Add-A-Stop. Well,
and it took a while.
People who don't have a screen that goes like this. Am I salty? Yes. My Tacoma's rear seat fold down. First you lift up the seat bottom, then the back folds flat. It's kind of old school style, but I prefer my F-150 where the seat bottom folds up, leaving you open floor storage. I like both. And if you can have both in the same vehicle, even better. Because when the seat folds up like this, then it kind of can form a stop for whatever you're holding without getting the seat dirty. And if the bottom folds up, then you can slide a whole bike in there to the floor. All right, so this is the Tacoma. And here's the F-150. Yeah, I am more partial to the F-150 if that's your only choice. And having it as a split is still something I do enjoy, because as a split, you can, like I said, you can get a person in there or people if you need to, while accommodating whatever cargo needed that requirement. Yeah, I need to see the patent on this one because I'm confused. The only thing I see is the holder behind the seat for the drinks. It's like patenting an item that everybody already uses. It's a design patent on the appearance of the seats. Not sure how they function. Seats probably fold down to allow sufficient heating and AC while camping in the vault. That would be phenomenal. Because that's what we've asked him, and he said he'd look into, but he did not promise. So let's get into some spy shots. Sort of. More like a leak. Will Cybertruck have a pass-through bed? Elon has responded to us asking for this, but he hasn't answered whether it will or not. I'm hoping it will. The good thing is it's got one of the longer beds out there, so hopefully so, because then you can have the long bed plus avalanche style where the mid-gate folds down and then you can use all that space. It's the best way, I think. And
I want this super long bit, like 8 foot, really
right,
stupid long
exactly.
for no reason.
Right, 10
That's
feet.
how my
Why not? 14 feet?
IC50 is. Yeah,
Yeah,
give me something. Give me something I could throw like 17 kids in the back and run around in a parking lot or something. Like
right.
they
Plus,
think
if
this
you
is
do Tesla camping,
great.
it would be nice to be able to close the vault door. So if a bear is coming, he can't get
Oh,
in, and you can enjoy the air conditioning and such. Why not?
that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of spy shots, but really leaks, Canada's Project Arrow is being benchmarked against Tesla and Volkswagen. So they spotted this vehicle with the Model Y, Model X, and the ID4. Needs to hold a stack of 4x8 sheets. So according to Elon, it should do that with the vault open and the tailgate up. But we'll see. We'll see. Because remember, they have been stretching and pulling the dimensions on this vehicle, but the prototype could do it because it was a full-size truck. So that part I was happy with. So this is a car coming out of Canada, and let's say Canada. Is Canada the country making cars now? What's the company?
This Canada or Tesla worldwide? They tend to be one and two.
What's that? Say again, Dan?
Tesla Canada tends to be Tesla worldwide information.
No, this isn't Tesla. This is Canada.
No, I'm saying the article, the company tend to
Yeah.
release more information.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Is the company named Canada? Because there's a country. Is the country making a car now? Seems to be a little bit of conflict of interest if the country's making the car. The project's aim is not to create an actual viable electric vehicle that would compete with the aforementioned models and others like them, but also to prove Canada's part supply network can come together on a big project. It sounds like the country.
And that would be interesting.
That is interesting. We'll keep an eye on this.
The first country to make its own EV car.
I wouldn't go that far. I think that the Soviet countries did decades ago.
Then
They
the
weren't
first
any good.
North America.
Just like their gas cars weren't any good, but their electric cars were worse. All right. Inside EVs has a feature on meet the Florida-based firm that electrifies classic Land Rovers. ECD is a Florida-based company that restores, updates, customizes, and electrifies classic Land Rovers with Tesla powertrains. Good, because a lot of people like these classic cars, and for them to stay on the road without destroying the environment would be nice. A 450 horsepower motor is mounted with a transmission tunnel. What? I'm assuming mounted in the transmission tunnel is a nice vehicle. 0 to 60 takes 5 seconds, which is way better than the 10 seconds it used to take. And the mounting locations allow for an all-wheel drive system without having a dual motor setup. Yeah, you just put it into the transfer case. All right, if you guys are interested in reading on that or buying one, take a look. All right, so this study is, I'm going to call it Captain Obvious. Study, gas prices rising is boosting an interest in EVs. Just like it did when the hybrids first came out. The gas price going up made people look into hybrids.
That
Gas
cash
prices
for clunkers.
Huh?
That cash for clunkers went almost all of them went to Prius.
It did. I sold a couple non-Priuses on it though. Mainly because, I didn't have any new Priuses at the Honda store. But they weren't all hybrids either. Gas prices have risen higher in the past, but there weren't many compelling EVs on the market, they say. Yeah, that's why we bought hybrids, because there were not any compelling EVs on the market. Unless you could afford to lease a EV1 or RAV4 EV. But then they had a 90-mile range. Here's the interest as the gas price goes up. 2018, 19, 2020, and 2021. So it's not just gas prices. You're looking at time here. Over the years, people are becoming more aware of them. Here. If you guys want to look at it and pick it apart, let me know. If you're not tired of hearing me be salty about not getting my update. Starshipper, best update hands down, Elon Musk. Thank you and Merry Christmas. You've done it again. Tesla stock. And so on the vehicles that have it so far, you can now expand your visualization to be full screen, much like I could already do on my Binnacle display. See? I got something. Whoa, the mother of visualization. Can't wait to try this tonight. Love that nav direction. It's a small pop-up in the corner. Yeah, I do wish that mine would do this. But I've got a whole other screen for that, so it's not that big a deal. How do you select the different view options? Anything like this? A layout picker would be nice. So this is what Windows 11 has. So yeah, that would be really cool. Elon says we will offer multiple display options. I don't even want FSD that bad. Can I have visualizations for Christmas? Not for Christmas, but it's not far out. Elon said next major milestone was fleet-wide release. So that would be when it's possible to give you the visualization coming soon. So let's go back to Nevada. We've been touching on them all day. Panasonic announces new R&D and training campus in Reno, Nevada. Who else is out that way? Gigafactory 1. So, Panasonic announced it intends to build a new campus in Reno that will handle training, research and development, employee recruitment, and other support functions. So they're going to make the most of their Gigafactory investment. New campus is planned to open in the spring and will be only 25 miles from Tesla Giga Nevada in Sparks. That's not bad.
They said recruitment.
Recruiting, yeah. They need to fill their half of the factory. Giga Nevada produces battery cells, Model 3 electric motors, and battery packs, various energy storage products, and now the Tesla Semi. Panasonic has worked alongside Tesla at the Nevada factory for almost 7 years. Is it that old already? Oh my goodness. It is older than my car, so that makes sense. Panasonic, of course,
is my 7-year-old.
Right?
It hasn't been that long. I just realized I was 7 years. That's how old is my daughter. How my time flies. They grow so big.
It does. Tesla's battery supplier and works at Giga Nevada producing 2170 cells and importing 18650s from Japan. The company plans to continue at Giga Nevada, yeah, because they're making an R&D center, not a battery factory, guys. That's obvious. At the same time, the new location will expand local engineering capacity, talent acquisition, and upskilling. So it sounds like they just want to be able to get their employees ready before they move over to the Gigafactory, and without Tesla being able to keep an eye on everything they do. Everybody likes a little bit of privacy, right?
And here you thought Panasonic only made household batteries.
I've got a Mastusha DVD drive sitting right here on my desk right now. That's the Japanese name for Panasonic, and I'm sure I pronounced it all kinds of wrong. It's the reason they have Panasonic in the US, because they want to say their name right. All right. How about a Tesla app update on iOS? Version 4.4.2 has dropped, and they've decompiled it and found this update, unlike the others, got pushed urgently, which screams bug fixes to us, but also looks like they added some code for reading the outside temperature when setting the climate. Mine does that now. So iOS didn't tell you the temperature before? In the last version, when they fixed some bugs within the wallet portion of the app, Now, if I remember right, somewhere it was mentioned that in the future the car would account for the outside temp. For example, turn on the heated seats. Oh, okay. So I thought the car did this though in the current update. I didn't realize that the app was doing it. If someone knows what I'm talking about, please link it here. But anyway, this is all I could find with this update. If I do find anything else, I'll update this thread. Have a great holiday and a happy new year. And yeah, so exactly what it is. Thanks to at Samsung USMC for reminding us where this feature was seen. Telescope tweeted this out for the changes in the holiday update. This is super exciting as the release is so close to this point. App update portion completed. Check. Okay, so this is, I guess, to make the app work consistently with what the car is going to be doing. So the car is doing it. And Noti Men said exactly what I said. It already shows the outside temperature. So yes, to use the outside temperature contextually. For example, if it's cold outside, it may automatically turn on the heated seats to warm up the cabin. Yay.
Yeah, because no one likes getting into a cold vehicle with a cold butt, especially if you have heated seats.
Especially when it's already cold out. In the summertime, I would love to get in a cold seat.
God, I have heated seats on ice, and it's not fun waiting for it to heat up.
Yep.
You're just freezing.
So I don't remember what tweet Elon did this with, so I took the Drive Tesla Canada article instead. Elon responded to a tweet suggesting that perhaps for premium connectivity, you can pay for 10 months up front and get 12 months in return. And in response to that, I said, all right, let's also do that for FSD. Pay 10 months up front and get 12 months in return. So currently you're looking at navigation is included with the current connectivity. But if you buy the $9.99 a month premium, or if you have premium for life like me, you get navigation, traffic visualization, satellite view maps, video streaming, karaoke, music streaming, and internet browser. I have a video on how you can get some of these features on the go without having to buy this by using your phone or hotspot, or your phone as a hotspot. And now it looks like Tesla may introduce a cheaper annual payment plan when asked about the idea. Okay, so yeah, Zach asked him that. Hey, can we get a yearly plan, something like $99 instead of $9.99 a month? And Elon said, good idea. And if I click this, I should see my own tweet, right? I wasn't trying to like the tweet. I already did. Apple Music. Maybe I responded to Zach. Or I got buried in the Elon response river. Either way, I suggested doing the same for FSD while he was there. All right, so trigger warning, somebody dies in this next article. Freak accident. Woman pumping gas is burned alive after the car backs into a gas pump, sparking a fire. This is another one of the hidden dangers of fossil cars that almost never gets reported, and I'm not going to play that video. Highway Patrol says, Florida Highway Patrol says that the driver backed into the Pinellas County gas pump, setting off a blaze that killed another person who was pumping gas on the other side. That's unfortunate. That's terrible. For one, you'd be charging at home, and two, there's so many safeties on public EV chargers that this is unlikely to happen at a fossil, or at an EV station as it is at a fossil. The other thing is, it's not instant on the EVs unless something catastrophic has happened. So. Let's go to something more exciting and fun and happy. if you like the Tesla Light Show that you got in your non-legacy car over the holiday, yes, I'm still beating on it. You can make your own custom light shows for these cars. If your car doesn't have the update yet, you cannot get custom light shows when you do get the update because we are yesterday's toys. So you can control all the lights. You can change to a custom song. You can also control the projector headlights on the cars that have the Matrix headlights, and you can make it say something other than Tesla during the performance. During the performance on the Matrix headlight cars, you can actually see on the standard performance in front of the car, it projects the word Tesla on the surface. Unless your headlights are aimed poorly, then it projects Tesla on the ground, and you should probably get that adjusted. So I'm going to include a link to the GitHub for this. This is an official Tesla project. Yeah, I'm going to get a legacy Cybertruck, exactly. That's why I want to. That's like, oh man, I kind of hope I'm at the beginning of the end of the first line for that. But really, now that I say it, I'd rather be at the beginning of the lines. That way, I've got a couple weeks before my car is too old for me to get all the features anymore. There were a couple folks who just bought a 2021 Model S or Model X that is not the refresh model. Like it was like leftover stock that they slapped a 21 badge on. Boop. Those people are really not happy. I'm a little salty with my 3-year-old car. I would be livid if I had a 3-week-old car and I couldn't get all my updates. I would be pissed. Those people got screwed as far as updates. I mean, they got what they ordered, but man, throw them a bone. I mean, when you look at it, my car is exactly the same as the first Model 3s that came off the line as far as all the compute. I've got the same modem, same computer, same FSD computer, especially now that it's been upgraded. And the only difference between theirs and mine is that theirs is liquid cooled, and then their display screen is landscape instead of portrait. But you don't need the display screen to do the live Sentry view. So what if I don't have the exterior speaker? A lot of people don't have the exterior speaker on their Model 3, so I can't yell and scream at the people around my car. But I can see what's happening. But no, I can't because my car is legacy. The blind spot mode blinker, I have the same FSD computer and cameras as them. Yeah, that would be a little bit harder because when you turn on the blinker, now do you show it on my main screen? Do you show it on the binnacle display? How big do you make it? Okay, maybe don't include it right away, but don't just say I'm never going to get it. That's super annoying. Because I know it can do it, you've just chosen not to give it. All right, I'm going to try to get off of the soapbox. So what I've been putting in the chat right now is a link to the official Tesla GitHub repository for setting up your own Christmas light show. So I've seen a couple of suggestions for what people want to see, and then I've seen a couple of actual performances, but they all use copyrighted music, and I didn't put any of them in my show notes link, so you're going to have to find them yourself. But if you make one, I would like to see it, and if you use some non-copyrighted music, we'll listen to it as well, but we'll at least look at the lights blink with you. The non-Model X's will open the trunk and close the trunk if they've got it. They'll flap the mirrors and they'll roll the windows up and down. The new Model X, the non-legacy one, will continue to flap the wings and do all the other stuff, including the trunk. Just one more year until I have a non-legacy car. It'll be a big old truck. I thought I was done with this. Tesla has a web page introducing Tesla software version 11. You get Tesla Light Show, new user interface, which a lot of people are complaining about, and a lot of other people like. You get updated navigation, which allows you to hide the map details for a clean and simplified look. I don't know why you'd want that, but I've got that whenever I get my update. Games, new games. I am looking forward to Sonic. I love Sonic as a kid. They've added Sonic to the Tesla Arcade as well as Sudoku. And Battle of Polytopia is now multiplayer. So when I created my gamer tag in the Tesla gaming, now I can actually use it.
Sonic would definitely be a good play.
Yeah, what's up, Cinema? Entertainment, you can now use TikTok. Boombox Megaphone is available on the cars that have A pedestrian warning speaker, legacy or not. It allows you to project your voice via the car's external speaker. Perfect for announcing to your friends when it's time to load up and head out. They were smart and made this only work in park, because people like me, if I had an external speaker, would get in so much trouble or get shot in traffic with road rage for saying the wrong thing to these brilliant individuals on the roads. So they protected people like me from ourselves.
I like the phrase you use for that analogy.
What's that?
The highly efficient people on the road.
Yes. Audio. For a better audio experience, there are now 5 levels of immersive audio, including an auto setting that adapts the content you're playing. That's not new at all. That's not new. But this part is new. You can adjust the subwoofer output independently to get just the right amount of punch from the bass. And I'm looking forward to that, because I will get that. I don't like the fact that you can only have 4 apps as your favorite. Right on. They like the same inside the app, but as we saw last week or 2 weeks ago, you can kind of trick it into adding more apps. I wonder if you can trick the car into adding more apps the same way as you can with their app. Let me know, because I don't get this new interface. I promise I'll stop soon. Blind spot camera. When signaling to change lanes or make a turn, a live camera view of your blind spot will activate on the touchscreen. I do have the old view that you guys had, where when you push the parking mode, you can see the small little cameras back there. And I always drive with the rear camera up, so it's rare for somebody to truly be in my blind spot, but they can do it. Sentry View live camera access, which is something I don't understand why it's locked. Already live in the US, we're introducing Sentry live camera access to the rest of North America and majority of Europe. If you don't have a legacy car. Yes, I added that. This feature allows you to view the live feed from the Autopilot cameras directly in your Tesla app. Front, left, right, and rear. And we're talking the ones you can already see in your Sentry recordings, not the left and rear pillar cameras, which Tesla is guarding like a dentist guards their x-rays. These are mine, you can't have them. Talking to you, dude. Why did dentists do that? You can't have these x-rays, they're mine. Now, they'll let you look at them, but you can't take them out of the office. Comfort suspension in Autopilot. This is for Model S and Model X with adaptive suspension. So if you've got a Raven model or a non-legacy Model S or X, you can have a more comfortable suspension. And cold weather improvements, yet again. But this time, they actually told us what they improved for the cold weather. You can now activate cold weather mode from the app or the center touchscreen at a lower state of charge. So if you're in the yellow, you're fine. If you're in the red, sorry, you should go find yourself a supercharger. Allowing you to access features like cabin preconditioning and heated charge port when you need them the most. So hopefully you haven't let the car get to the red unplugged, because if you need to defrost the charge port, you're out of luck. For every Model 3 and Y, we've also added automatic seat heater functionality. I do enjoy that on my Model X. First row seat heaters will automatically adjust based on cabin conditions and climate control settings. From the company that invented automotive software update, version 11 is the latest example of our efforts to ensure every Tesla gets better over time. Enjoy it and happy holidays. So let's look at what everybody else got. If you have a brand new Model S or X, you get a light show. Got a Model 3 or Y, light show. Model S or X, you don't. But if you have a Model X, you have the original light show, so poo-poo to you. Dark mode comes to everybody. Simplified controls are only on the landscape displays. Customizable app launcher. Oh, I do get that. I will try it and find out whenever I finally get my update and let you know. I think, though, that we'll be able to get 5 or 6 apps in there, because we did use that same multi-touch trick when Tesla tried to remove our ability to run 2 apps at once on the legacy cars. And we would do like a triple finger, and we could run our 2 apps at the same time, and Tesla got tired of us doing it anyway, so they just gave it back. Subwoofer tunability requires the Intel Atom processor, which I do have. Same with the edit waypoints. I wonder if you get waypoints, but you can't edit them on a truly legacy car, a car with the NVIDIA MCU. Anybody with an old car that gets the update, let me know. like a really old car, not old car like mine, which is not that old. Hide the map details. Everybody gets. I'll try it out, and then I'll probably never use it again, unless it's as clean as they are. Ooh, it's so wise. We'll see. Autopilot comfort dampening you can't get on a 3 or Y because you guys have springs and not airbags. And I can't get it because my adaptive suspension is a legacy adaptive suspension. It's the old smart auto suspension. It's kind of funny because I'll be sitting at a red light, and if the nose is too far up or down for too long, then the car will just trim it. It'll or there were a couple updates where that thing was super active, and that was annoying, but they put it back the way it used to be.
So it burps and farts.
It's more of a whoosh sound. There's nothing in there flapping, so it doesn't make a fart sound.
Well, that's the worst. That's the worst kind of sound for fart. You don't hear
it. No, you hear it. It's audible if your radio's off. So the blind spot camera we don't get for some reason, but everybody else gets it if your screen looks like this. Manage the dash cam clips. You have to have a dash cam on the legacy cars, but if you do, you can do it. And the other cars have dash cams, so you can. Century Live Access for no good reason. TikTok, as long as you have Intel Atom processor. Sonic the Hedgehog, Atom processor. Battle Polytopia, Atom processor. I wonder, I think that the old cars did have Polytopia, didn't they? Maybe they didn't. But you guys have some games on the old processors that we have, and it looks like if that's one of them, that you don't get multiplayer. And Sudoku. Why do you need a powerful computer to run Sudoku? You can play it on a piece of paper. And somebody not got mad at me, but tried to put me in my place, and they were right, but I don't care, about how it's hard for Tesla to take these things back and do them for everybody and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how many extra hours of development time would it take to make Sudoku work on an old car? Come on, guys. I mean, it's not even like space is out. I mean, they've upgraded everybody's space for, well, not everybody, but they've upgraded everybody's space for folks who didn't want their MCU to die on them, or if their MCU has died. So maybe only give it to the people with the MCU 1 that have the upgraded module. I don't know. Cold weather improvements we get, but we don't get the auto seat heaters or car wash mode. We've never had car wash mode, so I don't care. I'm over car wash mode because my car is wrapped and I can't take it into a car wash, and it's got that stupid front plate thing which will get ripped off by the beam on a car wash. So yet another reason I'm not at all interested in a car wash. But for those people with legacy cars that do go through car washes, I feel for you. There's yet another thing you can't have for no reason. Just put the car in neutral. I understand not rolling the windows up, but you could just leave a message on the screen. Hey, roll the windows up. Roll the windows up. Hey, Timothy. Thank you, and for putting up with my ranting about how Tesla has left us in the cold. All right, so that's what you get if you have a Model 3 or Model Y. You get everything except the adaptive suspension because your car doesn't have the hardware for it, and they can't upgrade your hardware. Well, they can, but they can't upgrade your hardware like that over the air. And if you have a 2021 Model S or X that was not old stock, that got a new model year, then you also get this. So if you got the refresh and you've got the screen that is in landscape instead of portrait, you get everything. Enjoy. And I would like to know, like, of you guys who do have it, what do you think? What was your favorite part? We obviously, like H Cinema told us, they don't like the limitation of 4 apps. What don't you like about it? I know some folks don't like the way the interface looks. I would love for a light show to do Biggie or Tupac. That'd be fun. I'm curious if you have the time and patience to deal with the editor kit that we just went over. Let me put it in the chat again. Let me know if you can get it going and what you think about it. All right, so there's in the chat again, because I would be very, very happy to see them in the car. The only ones I've seen so far are Metallica, and somebody else did the same Christmas song that's already in there, but they changed the performance of the lights. Those are the ones I've seen so far. All right, so let's get out of Tesla land for a minute, but we're going to stay in the EV land. And Gravity has started to operate Ford Mustang Mach-E yellow taxis in New York City. And this is the first custom Mach-E ever to serve as a New York taxi. Right, so it's got a little yellow light. It's got a medallion plastered on the hood. It's got the number and the on-call.
In style and environment.
All right, so this is a Fox briefing where they're talking about and interviewing people in their taxi. Electrify all the things. And we've seen Model Ys do this duty. We've seen Model 3s get this duty, and both of those cars they have people are just calling multiple taxis and canceling until they get the Tesla. So now I bet you the Mustang Mach-E will see the same treatment. And then we've also seen in Europe where Model S's and X's are doing taxi duty on the regular. So yet another fossil off the road. Good work. All right, and so I was on Slick Deals the other day, and we've already talked about this at the beginning of the show, but Slick Deals had a coupon, a deal for Tesla supercharging, and it was the same states we talked about before at the beginning of the show. So if you are a SlickDeals.net user, here is the link to that. I thought it was fun. Tesla has some winter driving tips. You can enhance your Teslas. Oh, this came up. Where did this come from? This came directly to me from the app. So I'm assuming that a lot of you have this already, but I thought it was neat. They wrote a whole article and they passed it on through the app. So they give you some cold weather tips, such as use scheduled departure mode, which I haven't had a chance to use yet. I probably should, now that my car is plugged in every day. You can precondition using the app. I do that. You can defrost, and now you can defrost both the front and rear windows, not just one. And they were wanting you to watch for the snowflake icon. We've had a couple friends who have lost miles in the car versus the app. The app will show them all the miles available, and the car will only show them the defrosted miles. So what was going to happen then is as the car warms up, the snowflake will go away, and then it will show you your full range. Versus other car companies, Snowflake is letting you know that the roads may be icy. Tesla doesn't do that. And then they're telling you how you can conserve energy on the road, such as driving at moderate speeds, limiting rapid acceleration. Consider using chill mode. Not a chance I'm using chill mode, buddy. And if possible, lower the cabin temperature setting and use seat heaters for added warmth. We did do that during our latest entry into Club Static, where we were headed up to Thanksgiving and the weather dropped 20 degrees lower than the weather forecasters had told us, and we were sitting slightly below freezing, and I had just passed 3 viable superchargers and said, I'll make it. And I ended up cutting the heat, slowing down, and I did not use chill mode, slowing down and using the seat heaters instead of the cabin heaters. And we made it at 0. I recommend not arriving at a supercharger at 0 because then the car can't preheat the battery, and by the time it gets up to temperature, it's now too hot to charge, and so it won't charge at the faster rate. My wife's Model Y has lost some miles during winter. Does she get better miles during the spring or summer? Yes and no. You will lose some miles as the car ages, and you'll lose some miles as the car adjusts its display to you. So my suggestion is to put it in percent and forget about it. Because in percent is what the navigation system uses. You notice when you put in a destination, he'll say you'll be at 3% when you get there, you'll be at 10% when you get there. That's usually pretty spot on. So that's what I use. And you'll also see the miles still in the app. So now if I go to my app, let me see what it says for me. Now I've got a 90% charge for the first time in a while. A lot of us were upset when they put the miles back in the app because, I don't want to see these things. All right, so I'm sitting at 90, and should be 264 according to the 289 miles, and it says 39 kilowatt hours were added in the last session. That's a lot on a level 1 charge. Oh, and the miles are gone again. They used to be there. Oh, there we go. So if I try to adjust it, so now I'm at 239 at 90%, and 100% would be 266 out of 289. So, I mean, it will lose miles over time. It'll lose a lot more miles in the first and second year, and by the third year, it will be very stable. So, absolutely. And so you can find that on display, and you can say energy or distance, and just set it to energy, and it won't bother you anymore. And on the Model Y and Model 3 and the new non-legacy cars, you can just tap the battery icon, and it'll flip between miles and percent. And just because the miles are an estimate is the main reason I don't use them, not because they're going down on me. I don't want to come to rely on something that is going to get me stranded. Whereas the percent, I say, you pop it in there, it says you'll arrive at 3%, and as long as I keep driving the way I've been driving, it'll be fine. All right, so then they say charging tips. Fast charge when your battery is warm, absolutely, because when you try to charge your battery cold, as I said, it will have to heat itself back up, and then by the time it is heated up, it'll be past the point where it can charge quickly, and it'll slow back down again. Use the navigation, because the navigation will tell you, hey, you'll arrive at this stop at this percent, this stop at this percent, or the added stops. And for long distance trips, we recommend start your fast charging sessions at lower states of charge when the battery is warm. Always be charging. When stay plugged in, we recommend leaving your Tesla plugged in as much as possible when it's not in use. This uses the charging system rather than your battery to retain heat. And we've got snow and ice tips. Reposition your wipers and mirrors. So you can go into the service service wiper mode in the service section of the app. You click the little car, go to service, then service wiper mode, and they'll park them up so that they won't get frozen to the glass. Then you've got, you can deactivate mirror folds so that they don't freeze in the folded position. And then they're telling you to use the defroster in the app. If you've got frozen door handles, bump them like this, and then you can break the ice. On the Model S, mine and then the demo that Tesla used, they would pop the handles out through the ice, and it was never a problem for me. Throughout sleet, frozen rain, freezing rain, all of it, I never had a problem. They would just pop out through the ice. Mine and the ones that belonged to Tesla when mine was in service. But I've spoke to a few Model S owners who said theirs get stuck. So treat it just like the Model 3, just bop, 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 bop on the ice until it breaks. And then you can use your door handles again. Frozen mirrors and windows, use defrost. Frozen autopilot sensors and cameras, they want you to keep them free of ice, snow, mud, and dirt. Otherwise, your car will give up and make you drive manually. Like completely. No cruise control, no nothing. Frozen charge port on the Model 3 and Y, just run your defroster and on high, and they'll take care of themselves. Then they were willing to sell you some accessories, like winter tires, windshield washer fluid. You got to get yourself. Get some fluid rated for the temperature that you're going to be operating in. Tesla does sell snow chains and PPF and mud flaps. When they say that they sell PPF paper protection film in the shop, they're talking about the little patch on the back doors or behind the back doors, not the whole car PPF. For that, you'll have to go to a shop. But they do sell mud flaps in the Tesla shop. And Model S mud flaps will be available to order in February of 22. So I thought that was nice. And for those of us that are outside of the US, so we're talking Canada and Europe, etc., Tesla is going to release significant autopilot improvements to non-US owners by March. I would hold them to it, but I also wouldn't hold my breath because this is Tesla time we're talking about. So we'll see. We'll talk about it closer to March because things can change.
Elon is on Elon is from
Can't do
South
that.
Africa.
All right,
Said
and then
that.
Tesla. What? Say again?
I said Elon is from South Africa, so
He is. He claims to be. He doesn't really claim to be from there, but he is. So, Tesla has reduced the carbon emissions in China by over 850,000 tons in 2021 alone, according to a report. Let's see, they cut emissions by 878 between January and November of 2021, according to Gasgoot. The numbers come directly from Tesla China's year-to-date new energy contributions report, which reveals that over 500,000. Why is it positioned like this? 500,000 Tesla Chinese owners drove a total of 2.31 billion miles during the same period of 11 months. They used to give us this stuff here in the States. They still collected. Like when you referred somebody, would say, you've saved this many carbon emissions. They pay only 79 to 110, 0.79 to 110 for every 62 miles of range when charging on their wall connectors. That's good. That's 1/10 the cost of refueling a gas guzzler for the same distance. No wonder they saw a 40% uptick year over year. So the number one selling EV in China, the Wulong Hong Kong Mini EV, 368 986. The next closest two are the Tesla Model 3 and Model Y, which should be right about here if you added them together at 129 353 and 120 912. Leaving everybody else in the dust between these three cars. Is the candy on here? Because they got the candy in the States, so they got to have it over there. I don't see it. All right, so then if you go by brand, SAIC, BYD, and Tesla. Happy Boxing Day, everybody, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Some of that special stuff I was planning for this week, I'll have hopefully for next week. And then coming up, I've got that video of the destination charger. I have got a couple more touches to put on it, then I've got to render it and let YouTube re-render it, and you can find it there on the channel. So if you got the bell set, it'll ding and let you know when that video is ready. We'll catch you on the flip side.
What's going on?
Yeah. So now I
Sorry
need
for that.
this late breakfast.
I've been in and out.